I have ranked many things in Project Zomboid, from weapons to armor to skills and professions, but one of the most, if not the most requested ranking video that I make was always guns. And I'm not quite sure why, because there is always an easy answer when it comes to ranking guns. Just use a shotgun. That's what I tell everybody that asks me. But you know what? Today, we're gonna go deep into this and we're gonna actually rank all of the guns. I'll give you a TLDR early on, what you should do with guns. If you are below level 3 in shooting, do not use anything but shotguns. If you're above level 3 but below level 5, still keep on using shotguns, although you can start mixing in some other guns and it's not gonna really hurt that much. When you're above level 5 in aiming, you can then just basically go for really anything you want, but shotguns are still by far the best. Now that out of the way, let's actually begin. First on the list we have a Magnum. Everybody knows this is a big old revolver that deals pretty much the most damage out of all of these handguns, out of all the pistols. Deals the most damage, but is also the loudest and the heaviest tool wheel around. Also, it's got 6 shots, no magazine. Because there's no magazine, it also means there's no jamming for this pistol, which can be definitely a bonus. Now, that being said, Magnum and Magnum ammo is probably one of the rarest you're gonna find around, so you really, even if you find a box of it, you're not really gonna be using it much, because in a box of Magnum ammo, there's only 12 shots in there, just 12 ammo, which means you can use the gun basically for 2 rounds of 6 shots. Now, while it has some bonuses like damage, as I said, for pistols, and also the longest range for pistol, it also has pretty much the longest aim time for a pistol, and it's got the lowest accuracy for a pistol. And accuracy really is the biggest thing over here, because if you can't hit a zombie, and if it takes you a long time to aim at a zombie, the zombie's gonna come close to you, the zombie's gonna eat your face, and if you're gonna miss it, it's a problem. So Magnum, unfortunately, not a very good revolver. We're gonna put it out here into C tier. Next on the list we have D&E pistol, or DE pistol. I don't even know how it's properly pronounced. Anyway, it uses the same Magnum ammo as the actual Magnum revolver, but this bad boy actually does have a magazine, so you can put 8 shots in there and shoot, which means this gun can actually jam. While it still has decent damage, well, basically for a pistol, it also can now jam. It still has low accuracy, but it does have a pretty decent range, and the aim time at least is a bit shorter than that of a Magnum, but still pretty long. Once again, the problem here is the ammo. While it's already pretty rare, if you have 8 shots in the magazine, and the box of ammo, if you find it, it only holds 12. So you really can, if you find one box, you have basically for 1 magazine and some extra stuff. So low accuracy really kills this one as well. It has jams, and I think just because of how rare the ammo is, and the damage that it does, it's not much better than any of the other pistols. This one, I'm gonna put it out here into F tier, unfortunately. Next, we have the M1911. This pistol is pretty much somewhere in the middle of the gun pack when it comes to pistols. It's got like somewhere in the middle of the damage, somewhere in the middle for accuracy, somewhere in the middle for range, somewhere in the middle for basically everything. Same as with these guns that I forgot to mention, you can put attachments on these. Most of the guns do have attachments. I will mention those that don't actually have them. Now, this bad boy uses the 45 auto ammo, unlike these two who use 44. But if you do find boxes of this ammo, which are, it feels like, more common than the Magnum stuff, it holds 30 in a box. And the magazine for this gun is 7. So out of a 30, you can actually fill 4 magazines, which is much better. Now, of course, it deals less damage, but it does have a bit better accuracy, which means chances are you're going to be actually hitting zombies and dealing that damage much more frequent than with these guns. I think M1911, it's really the middle of the pack when it comes to loudness, damage, and everything when it comes to pistols, but that makes it actually one of the best pistols out there if you need it as a sidearm. I would never really use a pistol as my main weapon, but as a sidearm, this one is actually pretty decent. We're gonna put it up here into B tier. Next on the list is the M9 pistol. This one is the only 9mm gun in the game. It's got the biggest pistol magazine out of all of them. It holds 15, which is pretty good. And well, if you find boxes for it, it's 30 per box, so you'll be able to fill 2 magazines. But these, once again, more common than magnums, which means you're gonna be able to use it more. And I do value the big magazine size, right? I do value that, but unfortunately, this one is down there, really one of the lowest damage per pistol. And if you're gonna be shooting zombies, well, you can have a lot of shots, and it does have great accuracy for a pistol, and low aim time as well. You're not gonna be downing zombies with 1 shot. Most of the zombies are gonna take like 2, 3, even more shots. And that means that even per magazine of 15, you're gonna be downing maybe 4 zombies, which is really not that good, unfortunately. So this one is gonna go out here into C tier as a sidearm. Next on the list is the M36 Revolver. It's using the 38 special ammo, which is the smallest caliber basically of all of these, which means it's got one of the lowest damage out of all of these guns. It is also the quietest pistol, so it's got that kind of assassination bonus, but chances are, if you shoot, you're not gonna kill the zombie in the first hit. Probably not even the second, maybe the third, because, you know, low damage. But then again, it also only has 5 shots. It's a revolver, so that means no magazine, and also means no jam. You're gonna have to be reloading a lot when using this one. That being said, if you really are afraid of guns, and if you want to use a quiet gun, but you do have some aiming skill actually, then maybe you can use this one. Unfortunately, being such a small revolver, you can't actually put any attachments on it to make it better, so that is also a big detriment for it. And I usually don't try to be quiet when I'm using guns, so no real benefit that I see from this. Unfortunately, this one just doesn't cut it, and we're gonna put it down here into the F tier. Last but definitely not the least among the pistols, we have the M625 Revolver. This one uses the 45 ammo, the same as the M1911, but this one does not have magazine, it being a revolver, and it has 6 shots and it doesn't jam, so once again a bonus. It's actually the highest pistol damage after the magnums, so it's got that going for it, which is pretty nice. It does have some attachments you can put on it, because at least the revolver is big enough for the attachments. It does have pretty low accuracy though, and it's quite loud for a pistol, but still, you know, when I went into this, I've done a lot of testings with all of these guns, and it feels like it deals enough damage that you can actually down zombies, unlike, you know, some of the other pistols that just don't pack a punch. But it also has enough or short enough aiming time and decent enough accuracy that you can actually hit zombies. So once again, for a sidearm, the both guns that use 45 ammo, it feels to me are the best. So this one is going to go up here with the other one, with the M1911 into the B tier. Next we go to the shotguns. The shotguns, to rule them all. They all use shotgun shells, so they have that going for them, which is nice. 24 shells per box is what these have, so, you know, this one is the double barrel shotgun, which means it can only hold 2, so you will be reloading a lot. But it does have a quick reload, but then again, you only have 2 shots. Now for double barrel shotgun, it's got the longest range out of all the shotguns, and it also has, I think, the narrowest zone of spread, how the pellets will spread. So this is really decent if you are maybe clearing like a tight choke point where all the zombies are in a really tight area, and it's gonna be very decent for that, right? And well, let's just be real, shotguns are great for everything. Just basically shooting, because you're always, when you start shooting, there's going to be more and more zombies coming, so you'll have to be dealing with a lot of them, and shotguns are the best for that. Basically all of the shotguns have great accuracy, and since they have more pellets, they spread out, and they hit more targets, so you can kill 4 zombies with 1 shot, or you know, maybe you kill 3 and down 1 and they gonna take some time getting up. Basically, shotguns are the greatest, either for leveling up your aiming skill or clearing out huge hordes and all of that stuff. Anyway, this double barrel shotgun goes up here into the S tier. Next off, we have the sawed-off double barrel shotgun. Basically, it's got pretty much the same stats. It does lose some range, and the cone is a bit wider when it comes to pellets. So I personally prefer if the cone is not as wide. If it's less wide, that means the more damage goes into this rough same area where you're aiming. If it's wider, the damage spread is also wider, so chances are your pellets are not going to be hitting so many enemies. I don't know, there's smarter people than me when it comes to actually figuring this out. And of course, this being a sawed-off, you can't really put any attachments to it, so it kind of loses value over there. But let's be real, if you find a shotgun, you will love that shotgun. I just wouldn't really be sawing off a shotgun. I would keep it pristine, so I'm gonna put this one into A tier. Next, we have the JS2000. In my opinion, pretty much cream of the crop when it comes to guns in basic vanilla Project Zomboid. This bad boy holds 6 slugs or 6 shotgun shells, which means way less reloading than with this bad boy. It being a shotgun, it has very high damage, it's got great accuracy. Of course, all the shotguns are very, very loud. All of them also have the same aiming time. I don't know if I mentioned that. And of course, this one, you can add a lot of attachments to it. It's basically the best gun, in my opinion, when it comes to finding something out here in the vanilla Project Zomboid. Just the fact that it holds 6 shots and you don't need to reload that much, it's great. The only unfortunate thing is that you're gonna have to rack it between each shot. Now your character is gonna do this automatically, but if you shoot and then run instantly, he's not gonna rack it. So you're gonna have to press X to rack it automatically. That's something you have to remember. But in any case, JS2000, the best gun out here in my opinion. We're gonna put it up here on top of the S tier. Next, the last amongst the shotguns is of course the sawed-off JS2000. This one is the loudest shotgun of them all. You know, one to rule them all in that. It also has a bit shorter range, but it does have the best accuracy amongst all of the guns out there. So that still makes it really amazing, even though it's sawed off and you can't really add so many attachments as you would otherwise want, you know. Well, this one, double barrel one, dropped into A tier. I think the sawed off JS2000 is still an S tier worthy weapon. It still holds 6 shots, it's got the best accuracy, it deals a ton of damage. Really short range, but any zombies that are coming to you, you can just pump those 6 shots into a horde and it's gonna be like 20 less zombies in like 5 seconds. S tier weapon for sure. Now we get down to rifles, which in my opinion, this is where it kind of starts getting even more complicated, because these rifles on paper, they look amazing, but they might not be as amazing otherwise. So first on the list we have the M14 rifle. This one is using 308 ammo, which has 20 per magazine, so you have 20 shots per each, and in a box, if you find the ammo, there is 40 ammo per box. This one is the only rifle that does not pierce, which means that, you know, when you shoot a zombie, it might go through his skull and shoot the one behind, basically hitting 2. This one is the only rifle that does not do that, unfortunately. But it does have the best accuracy amongst the rifles. It is also the quietest rifle, so you can use that to your advantage as well. Of course, it has decent range, it being a rifle, and it does decent damage. So when it comes to these rifles, I think this one might be up top, even though, you know, it's not excelling at anything, being the best at anything, but it's just generally good enough in all of these things, like loudness and accuracy and damage and all that stuff, that it's just, if you find it and if you find ammo for it, it is worth using. So I'm gonna put this one up here into A tier, and I'm gonna explain more as we get to the other rifles. Next we have the M16 assault rifle. This is the only full automatic rifle that you can find in a basic vanilla Project Zomboid. It is using 5.56 ammo, which it has the magazine that holds 30, and if you find boxes of it, there's going to be 60 bullets in there that you can of course then spread amongst 2 magazines. Now, while it is full auto, you can also switch to single shot, which I would really advise you to do, because when you go full auto, you're gonna lose a lot of accuracy. If you just hold the button down to shoot, you will lose a lot of accuracy and you're gonna waste a lot of ammo, because ammo goes really fast. So while it is a really cool idea to just spray and pray into a horde of zombies, thinking that you're gonna just mow them all down, in truth, you're gonna miss a lot of shots, you're gonna deal damage where it doesn't need to be dealt, so no headshots. So it's way better to pick them off one by one with single fire. Now, the good thing for this one is it can actually pierce. It can hit 2 zombies at a time, and it can take down 2 zombies at a time. So that makes it pretty decent. And of course, full auto makes it unique. If you somehow, by any chance, really have enough ammo to spend and just go full auto, you're probably not playing with the same settings as I am, because I always go with extremely rare loot, and you know, it's kind of hard to find enough ammo to do something like that, or to be even worth doing something like that. But you know what, as a last stand thing, it could be a really cool thing. Anyway, this assault rifle, it's not the most amazing, it's really the middle of the pack. If you do find it, and if you do have decent amount of ammo for it, and aiming above level 5, then it will serve you well. But I think it's somewhere out here in the middle of the pack. Next on the list, we have the MSR 700 rifle. This is a bolt action rifle using the 223 ammo, which means you have to rack it basically between every shot, and the racking thing takes quite a long on this one. It's unfortunately really quite a lot. It holds 3 shots, so you have to rack it between each of these 3 shots and then reload really fast. You're gonna have to start reloading. 3 shots is not that much. It does have decent range, but the rifles, while you would think they have great range, it takes a bit to aim, and the zombies are coming closer to you, so if you don't drop it in a single hit, it's getting closer and closer while you're racking. It's getting closer and closer, and yeah, it's not really a sniper rifle, as you might imagine. It's not. They're just not that amazing. The racking animation really takes a while, but they do have the ability to pierce, which means they can actually drop 2 zombies at the same time, which gives it a bonus. The accuracy is pretty meh. I think it's the lowest damage out of all of these rifles, and it's just not the best. If I actually found ammo for it, I would use it, but otherwise, if I have ammo for any other gun, I would put this one on the shelf. Because the rule is, after you're above level 5 aiming, the best gun is the gun that you actually have ammo for. So if you have ammo for this one, it could be useful in these situations, but otherwise I think it's like C tier rifle. Last but not quite the least, we have the MSR 788 rifle, which is basically an upgrade version of this MSR 700. This one is using 308 ammo, and it does have magazines that hold 3 shots once again, which is unfortunate. They're still bolt action rifles, so you still have to go and rack it between each shot, and the racks take a long time. It also has the longest aim time out of all the rifles. It does have somewhere in the middle of the pack damage and accuracy, pretty low accuracy, and range and all that stuff. So once again, not really an amazing rifle, and you probably are not going to be finding too many magazines to be able to actually use this one. If you have the 308, I would really advise you to use the 308 ammo with this gun that we mentioned before, of course, if you can find that gun and the magazine for it. That being said, this gun can also pierce 2 zombies, so you can hit and down 2, which gives it a bit of a bonus. But in general, when it comes to rifles, still not really the best. We're gonna put it here into the low B tier, and there you have it, boys. All of the guns ranked. I don't know how I feel about this ranking, because guns as they are right now, there's just not enough of them, really. And if you really want to play with guns and have a good experience with it, there's 2 mods that I will suggest to you. Either use Firearmor's B41, which is basically an expansion of the current vanilla weaponry and just a bit reworked, and there's extra ones, and it's gonna feel much better, much more rewarding using that. Or if you're a gun nut and you're not afraid of having 100 different guns with lots of different ammo and million different attachments, then go for Brita's weapon pack. Both of those mods I have used previously on my channel, in my series or my streams, so if you want to see that, you can see it. But there you go. Basically, once again, shotgun's the best, everything meh, unless you have ammo for it and you have decent aiming skill. But let me know, what is your experience with guns? What do you think should be S tier? What do you think should be F tier? Where do you disagree with me? Because I'm pretty sure people are going to be disagreeing with me. For now, thank you for watching. There's plenty of other things that have ranked in Project Zomboid. You can see links up there or links down here. Go check it out, and thank you for watching.